Hello and welcome back to another video, and in today's video you could see that we are going to be watching Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire is Unbelievable by, of course, MitchManix. So we've watched the Heart of Thorns one before, and I really enjoyed that video, and I've been really enjoying all of MitchManix's videos, to be honest. So please, all of his information will be in the description below. Go watch this video if you've not seen it already. Go like the video, go subscribe to him, go support him in any way you can, because he makes great content. Today, of course, we're going to be watching this and seeing what the Path of Fire expansion is like. Heart of Thorns, I think, looks really cool. I'm not quite there yet, but I am planning on playing through it myself and giving my own thoughts on it. But I do like to watch these because it's a bit of taste of like a taste of what's to come, I suppose. It's, you know, with expansions, the themes change so much from the base game. I just find it interesting to get a little glimpse about what I'm looking forward to in the future, or what there is to look forward to in the future. But before we get into it, please do like this video and subscribe to this channel as well. We're creeping ever so closer to that 1,000 subs, which would be amazing if we can do. So I really appreciate if you could support this channel. But otherwise, I think it's about time we get into the reaction. So, Guild Wars 2 Path of Fire is Unbelievable in 3, 2, 1. Go.
Welcome and welcome back to the ever more epic adventures looking into the free-to-play MMO Guild Wars 2. With this chapter bringing us and Disco Gizmo to the unforgiving deserts of the Path of Fire expansion.
Wow,
to take a look
cool.
at what it has to offer players today. And with quite a number of you singing its praises, I'm very excited to see what the expansion has to offer, exploring its landscapes and reaching new heights.
Oh, is this where you get the bunny thing? Whatever.
Clearly shared by Disco's raptor companion, being so eager to start that he's quite literally levitating across the lands to begin the journey.
You gotta love it.
MitchManix.
You gotta love to see
This
it.
is a deep dive into Guild Wars 2, Path
Very
of
nice.
Fire.
How did he get those sunglasses? How did he get those sunglasses? I'm guessing from the the background, the music, and his gear. This is a desert-themed expansion. The fact fire as well must be hot. Genius.
With the events of the previous expansion Heart of Thorns in the rearview mirror, the Path of Fire experience begins once again via the game's Living World season content.
Yeah.
Season 3 of the Living World this time around has cranked the content and experience provided to players up to 11, with multiple massive exclusive zones. These zones are grand in scale and feature rich with event and quest opportunities.
Look at that, that looks
including
amazing.
unique currencies to collect for a chance to purchase gear upgrades, while meeting the interesting and sometimes nightmare-inducing local population.
Yeah, it's a bit
the
weird.
Content for Season 3 of the Living World has clearly had just as much love and attention poured into it as the base game and expansion experience. Unique masteries can be obtained. The open world heart quests
What
make
the
a very
hell is
welcome
going on
return,
there?
and ArenaNet has even thrown in some keyboard-crushing jumping puzzles to keep players reaching new heights while exploring Season 3's zone.
I can't be dealing with that. I'm so bad. I can't play jump. I'm awful at platform games. I'm awful at jumping puzzles. Oh God.
Along with working through the story to set up the main event. And it's to that main event we go, but first making a quick stop to outfit our pint-sized hero with some new threads for his upcoming adventure, using the game's wardrobe feature to select a look out of the many tempting options.
What? I thought that was real for a second.
Oh, shit. With a truly heroic look confirmed, we begin our journey by airship to the harsh desert lands of the Path of Fire expansion. And after working through the introductory mission, beginning our exploration in Amnoon in the Crystal Desert, to report in with the team and meet some of the locals. After progressing through the early story missions, we are let loose upon the new open world. And what is clear from the offset is just how contrasting Path of Fire zones are from the previous outing in Heart of Thorns. In place of the cramped jungle are huge expansive landscapes, with rolling hills of sand covered with stylized desert settlements tucked in within its cliffsides. ArenaNet.
I meant in like that, the fact that it's not like dense. It's like you could see within the draw distance. You could see far away. It's not full like how Heart of Thorns seem to be.
Once again, taking a typically simplistic feeling setting and expanding upon it with a wide range of interesting landmarks and alternative color palettes to breathe character into its barren desert environments. Another element that's noticeable is the bump up in texture quality in the Path of Fire zones. Its landscapes feeling far more up to date visually than many previously, especially within the base game. And with Guild Wars 2 soundtrack,
it does look nicer.
Again, providing a
it's kind of hard to tell on
YouTube,
YouTube, but it does look a bit nicer.
Being a blend of base game, exclusive tracks from the expansion, as well as even callbacks to the original game's Nightfall soundtrack. Whilst Gizmo worked his way through the main storyline, one of the biggest features of Path of Fire is provided to the player interweaved into the story. That, of course, being the 6 mounts that the expansion offers to unlock. And as with a fair amount of features offered with this MMO, the mounts are not without their unique elements, adding to the experience.
Wow, what is that?
Having their own set of skills, but also a mastery tree to allow unlocking even more utility for each. The Raptor's leap ability can be upgraded to shoot across large canyons. The skimmer can tread water as well as the area's quicksand to access previously inaccessible areas. And the Springer can launch players into the air, making not only the exploration easier, but also unlocking a whole range of activities hidden away in the zone's higher regions. The game encouraging players to experiment with the toolset provided with the mounts, to reach some of its sometimes insanely placed visitors and mastery points. With some titles, getting access to highly effective modes of transportation can take away from getting to know the environments well, and it's great to see Path of Fire adding elements into the mix to instead turn the mount system into something even more effective at doing so.
I said it before in the last one when we watched this. I like how this game actually incorporates mounts to being more than just a way of getting around a bit quicker and cosmetics. You know, like the fact that it's actually not only just a significant part of the gameplay, it's also a significant part of the expansion. That there's, you know, that with this expansion there's going to be new mounts that you can get that are going to help you get around specifically for this area. That's cool. That's something that I think it gives you something to look forward to, because it's like, okay, in this new expansion, what mounts are we going to get? How are we going to use them? What we're going to need to upgrade for? It's just another like additional thing to look forward to within the game. The more of that is just the better, you know.
Gizmo immediately turned to seeking out the true power of his newly acquired companions, and when
it's an advert.
Chief, I want to get to the bottom of this.
What is this? Phantom Galaxies.
When it comes to fully unlocking the masteries for the mounts, players again have a wide range of activities to choose from for effective leveling. Zone events from light to bombastic litter the lands once more, telling tales of the local citizens as well as some of the lore around the dwellers of the desert. As previously mentioned, the Heart open world quests make a return, and are repeatable daily for even more experience gains.
Oh, cool,
as well as the adventure system continuing from the previous expansion. This time centered around quick-fire fun activities with a focus on mounted challenges to get involved in, alongside seeking out mastery points.
It's pretty cool. I like that. Ooh.
Oh God, that's so embarrassing.
Excuse me. You have a moment?
Oh, for you? No, I don't have a moment.
Where Path of Fire
reminded me of that moment of just playing like Oblivion or something.
What expands upon the formula is with its bounty system. Bounties can be obtained from bounty boards in each zone, and feature tracking down champion and legendary tiered enemy marks, with a pair of randomly selected unstable magic abilities, making for outings even taking on the same foe potentially feeling like a somewhat fresh feeling experience. And with each zone having between 12 and 24 bounties available, it's yet another instance of Guild Wars 2 implementing a feature that feels worked through and worthwhile. There are even bounties specifically available for guild groups to band up and take on the challenges as a team. It goes without saying that seeking out to gather enough XP for the Mount Masteries in Path of Fire comes with it a huge variety of options to do so. And like on occasion with Heart of Thorns, I would assign a mastery at the beginning of my session, then dive into everything going on in the world, and get so caught up in the action that I'd sometimes forget that I was even jumping in to grind them out. And while we're on the subject, it was great to see the mastery points themselves also featuring some creative gameplay experiences, alongside the more standard reaching a point in the game's world, also having more novel challenges, such as Gizmo being recruited to help out a local chef with his cooking.
This is a good time to add in some coconut milk. So fetch me some coconuts.
Oh, hell no!
Partially cited chefs aside, let me know if you enjoy the video and possibly would like to see a final installment covering the new expansion End of Dragons by dropping a like on
that's
the video.
The last one.
Make sure to subscribe for so much more RPG greatness, as it really helps keep the content coming. Without drifting into spoiler territory, the story in Path of Fire felt exceptionally well told this time around. Not only featuring some great set pieces and a compelling cast.
Oh, is that a cutscene?
But also with the variety offered.
That's interesting, because it's like, it looked like it was, and it looks like it was using the in-game. You know what I mean? I like that. Obviously, I'm still on the base game, so if they do that in Heart of Thorns, I don't know. Also, this set piece here, look at the colours here. This looks incredible.
When playing through the story missions,
look at the colours.
I was even tasked with leading a small group of troop NPCs around in one mission. ordering them around as if in one of the Overlord series of games.
Oh, cool.
A number of
Oh,
great-looking instances, keeping things fresh feeling, and even a ghostly instance recapping the pre-expansion events, helping those that may have overlooked the additional content in the Living World seasons.
That's, you know, that is, and that extra little bit of thought is also going to be really well appreciated, and that's cool that they do that, and they just don't, they care, you know, they care about making sure you understand the narrative, which for me is an important aspect of the game. To hearing that the story really picks up in Path of Fire makes me want to get there to play it, because I love a story in a game. So a good story, well told, is something that I love in a game.
Keep up with the unfolding narrative.
Okay, that is genuinely disturbing.
You see his
I
eyes.
stand corrected.
Oh my god.
I'm not saying
Okay.
that Heart of Thorn's story was poor, but Path of Fire for me felt longer and better put together overall.
Okay.
It definitely made it challenging to hit that pause button on its conclusion to work on this video. As
All
anyone
right,
who has
well.
experienced it will know, gives more than enough incentive to continue on to Season 4. Which, if anyone is interested,
Interesting.
I will be streaming both here on YouTube and on Twitch, and it would be cool to have you along for the ride.
There you go.
With
There's a
Gizmo
link.
now in possession of a number
What
of
is on your
kitted out
head?
companions, and with the story so far concluded, it was time to jump into Path of Fire's raiding content, which due to
Okay.
the nature of the plotline had its own self-contained narrative, and once again was highly enjoyable. Utilizing the newly acquired Mount Masteries and injecting them directly into the gameplay while working through the raid wings was great fun. Complex fights with multiple mechanics to wrap your head around. And I was glad to see the surprisingly engaging experience raiding in the previous expansion being carried over to Path of Fire, while adding some spice into the mix to give it a spin relevant to the expansion that provided it. Raiding, it has to be said, due to the horizontal progression of Guild Wars 2, does for me at least feel less rewarding working through the raid bosses, due to them almost never dropping anything of significant value gear-wise. But
Yeah, I
with the
can
choice to go with
see-
such a model for gearing does come with it the ability for any player with a decent
To be able
build
to do it,
to be able
yeah.
to jump into all of the game's available modes and challenges.
No,
without
that's a
worry
good
that
point.
they'll-
I didn't really think of it like that. Yeah, I suppose there's always going to be a positive and negative aspect to how they, you know, they have their progression. Like as he says, with, you know, all the gear kind of, you're already having gear that's pretty equivalent to raid bosses. Is it a lot of point in doing it? For some people, that might not have the motivation, but to just do it for the sake of doing it or to see the content. But at the same time, it means that everyone can get in there and play and experience it. So I don't know.
be a
It's,
significant loss when teaming
depends how
up
you
with
think of
others
it,
for
really.
content. With the fall of a number of the land's toughest adversaries, a collection of bounties in the bag, and a whole host of new companions at his side, Gizmo looked at the next opportunity, and after delving into the deepest depths of Path of Fire and reaching some dizzying heights, finally got a real look at the majestic beauty of the desert landscape.
oh no, what have you done? Oh wow! Oh, that's sick. That looks really cool. Wow, it looks so much better than the base game, doesn't it? It looks so much better. The animations on the wings are really, really nice. Nice touch.
Yet another addition to the roster of this expansion is Guild Wars 2's first flying mounts. The Griffin can be obtained after completing a number of collections for each zone, featuring tasks ranging from questing out in the world, taking out bounty targets, to more challenging exploration, and in my opinion it's the perfect swan song for the Path of Fire expansion.
Okay.
Taking the player to each zone and tasking them with putting together all they have acquired in their time in the desert to obtain one hell of a reward. Of course, also featuring its own mastery line of skills, the Griffins, along with all Path of Fire mounts, can be used in the other zones of Guild Wars 2. And the Griffin, at least for now, has been set up to not completely remove the need to use your head while exploring the game's world, as acts more of an advanced glider than a traditional flying mount. The
Right.
Griffin cannot fly directly upwards, instead using
I
dive bombs and
see.
single flaps of its wings on cooldown while in flight, and is
To
a massive
gain-
leg up, but also retaining the albeit reduced challenge of reaching tough hero points and other collectibles.
That's very clever. It's very, very clever actually, because just flying, yeah, willy nilly would make a lot of the game kind of very like nullified, I suppose, like redundant in a way because it's just so easy. So doing it in that way, keeping, you know, having the spectacle of having the flying mounts in the game, but making it not so easy, that's good. I think it works perfectly for this game. Maybe not for other MMOs, but for this game in particular. But obviously that dive bombing and picking up the, you know, the dive bombing and stuff just looks so similar to what they're doing in WoW in the next expansion. It's so funny.
My time adventuring through Path of Fire with old Gizmo here has for me been an unbelievable experience. Everyone has preferences when it comes to what they consider worthwhile content, but ArenaNet with Path of Fire added features and built upon others that, if done by some other developers, would be split across 2 or 3 separate expansions. I said it in my first video of the series, and I will again, as it's even more profound for me now. But the ability to continuously add so much flushed out and worthwhile feeling content in this game is unbelievable. Do you want mounts? Okay, have 6 unique types, all with skill sets that we will build into almost all of the other content available in the expansion. Do you want bounties? Here, have a ridiculous amount, all with constantly changing parameters to keep things interesting, even once you've finished them all.
I just love that this is all out in the world.
A new spec for every single class while we're at it.
Ooh.
Say what you want about where the game is, and people may call me sycophantic, but what I am so impressed by is so little of this game feels like it was added just for the sake of having it. And as far as I'm concerned, whenever I see that kind of passion being put in by a developer, I'm gonna highlight it, as it's one of the keystones that keeps our experience as players at the forefront of game design. Path of Fire for me is one of the best MMO expansions I have ever played.
Oh wow,
adding new and exciting features while making
amazing.
the tried and true experiences all the better to get involved in, all wrapped up in a narrative that just keeps surprising me. If you're a fan of open world MMOs and you're yet to experience Path of Fire or Guild Wars 2 in general, then consider giving it a look. As for me, this one will go down without a shadow of a doubt as one of the greats.
Very high praise.
Thank you so much for watching. Have you played or are looking to jump into Path of Fire?
Yes.
As always, I'd love to get your thoughts down in the comments. I'd also like to give a massive shout out to the channel members who help in supporting the channel and keeping the content coming.
Okay.
If anyone's interested in joining as a channel member for all sorts of perks, including exclusive videos, the info is down in the description. Thanks again for anyone getting this far into the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
Very, very high praise. This, I mean, now I'm really looking forward to getting to this one now. To get into Path of Fire. I played some very good MMO expansions in my time. Examples being, I don't know, Wrath of the Lich King, Heaven's Ward, Shadowbringers, Endwalker. So, where will Path of Fire rank for me upon those names? I guess we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, I've said this before, and it's just crazy to me that this game has a lot that I really like. I love, and I've said this loads and loads of times in my videos, I love the fact that the bulk of the content is out in the world, and it's not just instanced stuff. It's out there for you to find and to explore and to do in the world. It pushes you out there, and I love that stuff. I love like, it just, to me, is what I like as a MMO player, is essentially what Guild Wars 2 is gearing towards for me. So kind of weird, as I've definitely said this before, it's weird that this game has just existed this for years and years and years, and I've just not really put my attention to it. But I suppose better late than never. I mean, Heart of Thorns, I did like the look of, and it's like, okay, yeah, this looks pretty good. But this has got my attention after this video. Path of Fire has, and I think the last expansion is End of Dragons. I mean, who doesn't love dragons? So that's going to be definitely one to look forward to. So, of course, all of MitchManix's stuff is in the description. Link to the original video, link to his channel. Please do go and support this video and subscribe to him. I don't know if there's anything more to add other than I cannot wait to get here. So I will not elongate this video more than it needs to be. So if you liked this video, please do give it a like. Tell me what you think of this expansion. Have you played Path of Fire before? Are you going to play it? What do you think? Where did it rank for you against other MMOs or against other expansions in Guild Wars 2? Is it the best one, or is End of Dragons better? Like, let me know in the comments below. I'd be really interested to know, actually, where or how you rank these expansions. That would be quite interesting. But otherwise, thank you all so much for watching. Please do like this video and please do subscribe to this channel. I really appreciate it if you do. But yes, thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Goodbye. Thank you.